Hey friends, this is Dan Valentine. I wanted to share one of my favorite Jesus stories with y'all, and this comes from Matthew chapter 14. It's the feeding of the 5,000. And in this passage, Jesus' cousin, John the Baptist, had just died. And when Jesus found out about this, he was grieved and he wanted to separate himself for a time, like many of us would. And starting in verse 13, it says, "Now when Jesus heard this, he withdrew from there in a boat to a desolate place by himself. But when the crowds heard it, they followed him on foot from the towns. When he went ashore, he saw a great crowd, and he had compassion on them and healed their sick. Now, when it was evening, the disciples came to him and said, 'This is a desolate place, and the day is now over. Send the crowds away into the villages to buy food for themselves.' But Jesus said, 'They need not go away. You give them something to eat.' They said to him, 'We have only 5 loaves here and 2 fish.' And he said, 'Bring them here to me.' Then he ordered the crowds to sit down on the grass, and taking the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, he looked up to heaven and blessed them. Then he broke the loaves and gave them to the disciples, and the disciples gave them to the crowds. And they all ate and were satisfied. And they took up about 12 baskets full of the broken pieces left over. And those who ate were about 5,000 men, besides women and children." And what I love about this is it shows the love of Jesus, even though Jesus, being fully God and fully man, is grieved at the loss of his cousin, John the Baptist. He wants to separate himself, but still he has compassion on the crowds, and he steps forward to heal them. And I love how the disciples and Jesus see a need amongst the people, and Jesus says, "You do something about it." And Jesus asks them what they have, and they present their resources. They present the loaves and the fish that they have to Jesus, and Jesus performs a miracle, and asking his heavenly Father to bless the food and to multiply it. The food is multiplied, and there is more than enough for anybody anywhere that is in that space following Jesus. So I love the compassion of Jesus. I love how Jesus challenges the disciples to do something about it, and it shows Jesus performing a miracle, showing how he is God amongst the people, and everybody ate and was full and satisfied. Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful day.